Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out here. My name is Kim Burgess. I'm the Drowning Prevention Coordinator for the Broward County Health Department. And the folks behind me consist of the Drowning Prevention Task Force here in Broward County. We're going to talk a little bit today about drowning prevention, obviously, and what parents can do to make their children more safe, and a little bit about what lifeguards do. We have an initiative here in Broward County that targets families that have children under the age of 4, and we go in their homes and give a home safety evaluation. We also have a little water safety booklet that goes out. The pediatricians are giving out to all 9-month-olds, and so that sort of ties us all together. But this is our midsummer press conference. We're going to call it Keep Your Guard Up. We want the parents to keep their guard up when their children are in and around water. And I want to introduce Cindy Arenberg-Seltzer. She's the CEO of the Children's Services Council. She funds drowning prevention and water safety here in Broward County. And Cindy Arenberg.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here both professionally and personally. As you heard, I'm the CEO of the Children's Services Council of Broward County, whose mission is to provide the leadership, advocacy, and resources to enhance children's lives. I'm also the mother of a 3-year-old, so this issue of drowning of children 0 to 4 is of very personal importance to me. As Kim mentioned, the CSC has supported drowning prevention since our inception in 2001. We have funded Swim Central in collaboration with Broward County and the school board, and last year over 30,000 children received drowning prevention lessons through Swim Central, through that funding. We've also funded and participated in the drowning prevention collaboration with all of these wonderful people behind me. And back a couple of years ago, we realized that although we were targeting the drowning prevention and water safety lessons for the children 4 and 5, and having great success with them, no drownings of those children who had received that training, the children 0 to 4 were drowning at an alarming rate. And so in collaboration with Swim Central and with Kim, we looked into the root cause of that and realized how important parental supervision is. As the parent, as I said, of a 3-year-old, I know how hard it is. These kids move fast and they're always on the move. But we have to watch them and put up as many barriers as we can to make sure that they can't reach the water during those few minutes when we can't keep our eyes on them. That's why we funded the Drowning Prevention Coordinator housed at the Health Department, and why we so strongly support the Keep Your Guard Up campaign that we're here today to launch. Thank you.
Keep Your Guard Up is actually the perfect theme for an effort like this, because the Department of Children and Families wants very much to make sure that children are safe. Over the last year in Dayton-Broward County, 12 preventable accidents have happened that we could have done better. And it's all about keeping our guard up, looking out and making sure that the children that we love and that we care so much about have all kinds of redundant efforts available to make sure that children don't drown. Every backyard or in-home drowning that we investigate is a tragedy for us. So keep your guard up, parents. It's important. You could save the life of a child that you love.
The American Red Cross is an organization which is committed to providing life-saving training opportunities for the public. And I have a special message for parents out there who have young children. We want you to be involved whenever your child is at the pool, whether that pool is lifeguarded or you're by yourself in your backyard. It's so important to provide training opportunities for your child. Look into your local communities, your local aquatic facilities to sign up for the Learn to Swim program. And parents, I also encourage you to get educated as well. Take CPR training, take first aid training, take lifeguard training, because you could be the one to save your child's life. There are also other tips you can have as a parent to keep your child safe around the water. Be sure that you keep your child within arm's length and have them wear a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket when in the water if they're not a very strong swimmer. Parents also need to be at the scene, at the pool, actively involved when their child is in the water. it's not only the job of the lifeguard, but it's also the job of the parent to make sure that that child has a very safe experience. Be sure that if you have a home pool, that you have the proper safety devices attached to that pool, that you have at least a 4-foot high fence with a locking latch on the gate, that you also have the proper reaching equipment, a cordless phone, any type of water safety tips or CPR instructions, so that if there is a tragedy, you know exactly what to do.
Hi, good morning. My name is Matthew Berman. I'm the director of Swim Central for Broward County. It's a true partnership with 46 partners throughout the county. It saves lives. It makes a difference. We're fully funded by the Children's Service Council, the Broward County Commission, and the School Board of Broward County. We're celebrating our 10th year. 248,000 children have gone through the Swim Central Water Safety Education Program, and today I'm proudly to announce that not one of those children has been a drowning statistic. Unfortunately for Broward County and much of the state of Florida, children from the ages of 1 to 4 are still drowning at an alarming rate. But all's not lost. There are some things you can do to protect and safeguard your children. We call them layers of protection, or barriers, if you will. 1, make sure that you have a pool fence properly installed. 2, you have locking devices on your doors and alarms to notice if a child goes outside. And 3, the most important, and the first one to break down, as a parent myself, is adult supervision. Those 3 barriers, if they're all instilled, you have a very good chance of making a happy outcome. There's just a few things I have for the older children. It's a saying that we use, and it says, even if you're fully grown, never ever swim alone. And last, for the parents who thinks they'll hear that child outside in the pool, you won't. Drowning's a silent death with no splash and no call for help. Watch your kid. You're gonna be glad you did. Thank you.
Yesterday we had another drowning of a 4-year-old, and all too often we hear or read in the paper or see that there was another near drowning. Well, sometimes the near drowning isn't what you think it is, and a lot of times we forget that when you're under the water for so long, sometimes your brain doesn't get oxygen, and then you're not quite the same person you were when you went in. And we want parents to know that, you know, every second counts, and that we've got to get those kids out quickly, and you can't leave them under the water for too long, because horrible things happens to the child when they come out and they're still living sometimes.
Hello everyone, and thank you for coming out to the City of Miramar today. Our focus in the Fire Rescue Department is one of response. Basically our personnel go through hundreds of hours every year to treat and have the ability to take care of patients of victims of drowning, basically. We have some of the best equipment available in the world. We have some of the most advanced treatment techniques that's possible in pre-hospital care. Our city officials have provided this equipment to us and an opportunity to save some of these victims. However, particularly here in the City of Miramar, we're finding that response is not necessarily the best way to approach this problem. Doing a risk reduction analysis in the City of Miramar, we found that pediatric drowning is a tremendous problem here in the city. We have one of the highest rates of drowning in Broward County, and Broward County has one of the highest rates of drowning in the state of Florida. It's something that we need to change, something we need to fix. And as the previous speakers before me had mentioned, keep your guard up. Install your barrier devices. We can't always watch our children, every minute, every second of every day. But if you can't, make sure that you have devices in place that can assist you in doing that. All too often we respond to tragic events of children drowning in swimming pools, residential home swimming pools. And the common theme that we encounter there is we only took our eyes off of them for a minute. That minute is all it takes. So really that's our focus here with the City of Miramar. We are prepared and able to respond, and we do that very well, but we want to prevent these things from happening, and ultimately all the training and equipment that we have, we'd prefer not to use it. Thank you very much.
Last, Mr. Michael Reardon has a son, Matthew, and many years ago, he was one of those near drowning accidents that you never heard about again. But Matthew is still with us, but not quite like what he was before his near drowning accident or incident. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Michael Reardon.
Thank you. My purpose for being here today is to just encourage and really affirm what's been said, and then to tell you a little story. Diligence and the three things, the fence and teaching kids to swim, and just being a diligent parent is a very important thing in preventing drownings. But drownings happen. My son is 16 years old. 2 days before his second birthday, he was just riding his trike around the perimeter of our pool, and his mom was just a matter of feet away, but she was on the telephone and turned away, and exactly what someone explained. Matthew fell in the pool. It was silent. His survival swimming training didn't work for some reason at that moment, and Matthew was Paula turned around, found Matthew floating, and started resuscitation. The great guys, the rescue people, the paramedics got there. They couldn't get Matthew going. I got home probably 20 minutes later after the most horrible call imaginable in your life. And Matthew was being wheeled out in a gurney, and his little body was as dead as it could be. He was resuscitated in the hospital, and all those things you hear or see in a story and a movie about time standing still and not understanding what's going on. No one asked for my insurance card. We were brought to a special anteroom. We were asked if we had a pastor or minister. I couldn't figure out why they weren't asking for my insurance card. And eventually they said Matthew was alive, his heart was beating again, but he had sustained a massive anoxic brain injury. I had no idea what that meant, but for the next 72 hours his life was in the balance. For the next 3 months Matthew was in a coma. Much of that time as a parent, it was like watching your child be tortured. What happened to his body through the brain swelling and the injury to his brain. We're incredibly blessed. Matthew lived. He functions. We function as a family. He functions as an individual in a fairly normal way, but he suffered a very bad brain injury. He's in a wheelchair. His vocal skills are very limited. His motor skills are very limited. And he's an awesome kid. He loves life, and he goes to school. And I guess the end of the story is that there is was Matthew's accident preventable? Absolutely. If Paula had just been turned around. Was it a tragedy? Absolutely. And the idea here is not to lament on that, but to look at what are the things that can be done to prevent near drownings and drownings. It's a horrible accident that changes your life, and generally it can be prevented. Thank you.
That concludes what we had for today. I want to thank everybody on behalf of the Broward County Health Department and these fine folks at the Drowning Prevention Task Force.